Joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust are the 5 basic emotions that humans experience. And the first Inside Out movie will always be regarded as groundbreaking for that reason. Now, these are obviously not the only feelings that people can experience. A multitude of emotions still need to be represented, even though Inside Out 2 does a good job of introducing us to the other emotions that surface in us as we age. Inside Out 2's phenomenal box office success makes the sequel all but inevitable. This weekend, Pixar's most recent blockbuster, which was a $200 million budget, should bring in about $140 and $150 million from its domestic premiere. It would be the second highest opening weekend for Pixar, and in its first week, it'll earn at least $50 million more than Inside Out. Inside Out went on to make $857.6 million in revenue, and its sequel has the potential to surpass that astonishing sum. If so, a follow-up is definitely in the works. A sequel is probably in the works for other reasons as well. The franchise has shown that it can endure a summer marked by a run of box office disappointments. The franchise's concept ensures that there will always be room for expansion. Future film stories will draw from various emotions that surface at various stages of life. Riley's time in college might make for interesting stories, particularly if she develops into a good enough hockey player to get a scholarship. She might also grow more as a student in high school. The conclusion of Inside Out 2 provides Riley with a way to keep developing and alter her sense of self. She will keep fighting her fears and try to keep up her friendships with both old and new friends despite the obstacles of joining the varsity hockey team. Man already has ideas about where Riley might end up in the sequel, but there are a ton of new paths that a sequel could go. With such a loyal fan base, the director believes the next film will capture everything that has made the franchise so appealing. Even Amy Poehler, who voices Joy, already has a pitch for the third installment. As she and her co-workers dispelled movie rumors, Poehler had an idea for a brand new narrative that would let a wide range of emotions make their screen debut. She offers a thought-provoking idea for a possible third installment, an alternate universe where complex and novel emotions exist independently of headquarters. She sees these complex emotions preparing themselves before going into battle in a lounge-like environment, something like an emotional batting cage. Animators have come up with a lot of ideas over the years regarding the emotions that Riley's brain should contain. Amy's concept, however, would allow viewers to see a broader spectrum of human emotions, including some less well-known ones that might not immediately spring to mind. Riley's mental landscape is broadened by this concept, which also calls for a closer examination of the interactions and dynamics between these emotions. Amy's idea gives Pixar the chance to explore a more nuanced range of human emotions, perhaps less well-known emotions that deepen the story and connect with viewers on a deeper level. Her proposal for an Inside Out sequel makes sense as a way to grow the Pixar brand and keep Riley at the center of the story instead of shifting to a new lead character. Riley's well-known and adored by viewers, so it's a wise decision. It may not be easy to persuade audiences to accept new characters, but Riley and her primary emotions can remain central to the series if Pixar takes this approach. Though Disney and Pixar haven't formally announced a third Inside Out movie yet, that hasn't stopped fans and me from brainstorming some of the emotions it would be entertaining to see. Let's start by going over the most beautiful feeling ever: love. Imagine what love would do to people if you thought anxiety drove them insane. With Riley's First Date, the short film that was released following the original film, we have already had a preview of what dating could be like for Riley. It would be intriguing to witness the arrival of this emotion and the ensuing chaos once she begins to fall in love. Given the wide variety of love, it would be intriguing to observe whether love is a monochromatic feeling or if it takes on the form of a mirage of feelings. It would probably make sense to visit Riley again as an adult later on for this. It shouldn't be an issue because we've been waiting 9 years for this movie. If possible, this role should be filled by the king or queen of romance films, particularly romantic comedies. Meg Ryan, Julia Roberts, or even Tom Hanks would be my first choices. The next one should be wonder. Considering that Disney's 100th anniversary slogan was 100 Years of Wonder, this one should go without saying. Riley has undoubtedly felt wonder in her life, and maybe wonder is like nostalgia in that it only shows up sometimes and goes away quickly when necessary. To be honest, it's difficult to envision a situation in which Riley would feel this way for a long time, unless perhaps she visited Walt Disney World for the first time. Although this cross-promotion would be absurd, it shouldn't be avoided or introduced in the future. Given that Forky spent the entirety of Toy Story 4 in awe of everything, Tony Hale would be a fantastic choice for the voice actor. But he can't because he's already the new voice of Fear. The likes of Eddie Murphy, Paul Rudd, and Will Ferrell are excellent choices as well. Regret would be another great emotion to explore in a potential third film. Riley might grow up and choose not to play hockey professionally. She works a desk job and is confined to her thoughts and what that might have been like. It would be especially interesting to see how her emotions would handle her settling into a mediocre existence, as Mr. Incredible's character in the first Incredibles movie touches on this in a small way. And we already have a voice choice that we really like. Adam Sandler would be fantastic for this role. He's shown that he can handle drama as well as comedy, and I think his combination of gravitas and humor would help people understand just how terrifying this human feeling can be. Another emotion that many people overlook is loathing. Self-loathing is another very real emotion that people deal with as they age. Much like anxiety, it would be fascinating to watch Riley fall in love as much as it would be intriguing to watch her develop self-resentment. Maybe the reason for this emotion's appearance is all the regret. She might become more anxious. In either scenario, I see the character as a complete villain in a follow-up movie. It is more difficult to control than sadness or anger. Maybe it's an even more sinister form of the latter, hidden away in one of those vaults that the sequel introduces us to. Riley's mind would require cooperation from all of its characters to prevent complete self-sabotage. This will be Riley's mind version of the Avengers. Take some time to consider this. It would be awesome to have someone with experience in dark roles for this character's voice. William Dafoe, Charlize Theron, Anthony Hopkins, and Cate Blanchett come to mind right away. On the other hand, it might also be interesting to cast a gifted actor who exudes charm and would love to play a villain. Actors like Toni Collette or Paul Giamatti spring to mind when I think of that category. What about Suppression? Even though Suppression isn't a feeling, I believe it would be intriguing to investigate the consequences of Riley holding her feelings inside. Furthermore, I believe it would be intriguing to witness it occur as a consequence of a significant shock or even sadness. Perhaps a family member's passing. Once more, perhaps it's the knowledge that she might not be able to pursue a hockey career. In any case, it'd be interesting to see how Pixar handles Riley's emotional journey through that. It begs the question of who would be in charge if Riley chooses to repress her feelings. Would something go wrong with her emotional console? Would some higher force seal all the feelings back up in those vaults? There are countless concepts for possible follow-ups. I believe it would be beneficial to have someone in this role who has been very transparent about their relationship with mental health. Immediately prominent figures that spring to mind are Ryan Reynolds, Pete Davidson, Zendaya, and Selena Gomez. What are your thoughts on these potential ideas? Tell us in the comments below which emotions you want to see, and also don't forget to smash that subscribe button. We'll see you in the next video.